Hello, Dave here from the band Red Giant.
Hello, John Joe here from the band Red Giant.
And you're probably asking yourself, why does he look like that right now? Because my esteemed colleague here decided he has no bowel control, and it's got a bit whiffy.
Yeah, apologies, mate. It's this chair.
Yeah.
Creaking.
Well, this is also my new YouTube career of urban explorer.
You're a grime artist.
Yeah.
Go on, give us a rap. I'll drop your beat.
Go on then. Oh, there you go.
That was good.
That was number one next week, mate.
Brilliant.
Anyway.
New direction on the new album.
Yeah, there we go.
It's still bad, mate.
Bit hot in there. It's hotter out here. Methane. No one smoke. Anyway, hello. So this week's video, we thought we would do something a bit different because like we've got kind of sporadic gigs until May now because May's going to be mental. But we thought in this vid what we would do is we would talk about the recording process of the album and also kind of like highs and lows of what we've been doing kind of thing because I think John Joe will agree it's been a bit of a roller coaster.
Yeah, it's been a hell of a roller coaster.
Yeah. And the idea with this video is we're just going to talk very candidly as well about what it's like to be in a band in this day and age. Like, and again, a new band as well. Like, you know, I know we did the Dave Simpson Trio for years prior to it being renamed Red Giant, but as soon as you change your name, it's a clean slate. So we've only really been a band since last year, and technically since the album came out in October. So there you go. So and we have to keep reminding ourselves of that.
It's not even 5 months then.
It's not, no.
That's crazy.
And in that time, we've sold over 500 CDs.
Yeah.
That's thanks to you lot.
Yeah, cheers.
It was about this time last year that we decided, right, we're going to go into record a proper album. I don't think we'd even decided to change our name yet, had we, at this time?
No, it was still the trio at that point.
Yeah. Crikey, that's mad. That is a mental thought. This time last year.
Yeah.
What was going on? So we hadn't changed the name yet, but we had no gigs at the time. We had no gigs, and it was just this kind of like it felt awful. And basically the idea was we thought, well, we need to record an album. We need to do it in properly in a really good studio and get on it and really kind of like push it instead of just kind of like, well, we already were pushing it, but kind of in that kind of more professional way.
We'd recorded our album, hadn't we? 3.
Yeah.
Trio 3. We did that, and that went really well. And then, we got to thinking about recording a new album because we'd just done that gig in October.
Yes. Yeah, we had.
And that was like a massive high point for us. The gig at the Riverhead that we did under the Dave Simpson Trio name, because that was the first time we took it up on ourselves to do more than we had before.
Yeah.
And it went really well, didn't it? We got
that was
a lot of people there. It was incredible.
There was 110 people there. That night. Yeah. Which is
came
really
from
good.
all over as well, so thank you all that came.
Yeah.
Really appreciate it. And yeah, it was amazing, wasn't it? And then we wanted to like carry on with that high and keep that energy going. And we were like, well, what can we do now? Yeah. And then it was new music.
It was. We needed a new album, and the PR, well, the booking agent, whatever he thought he was at the time, you heard it here first. I don't mind being a little bit nasty, but because he wasn't exactly nice to us, so no love lost there. But he was like constantly saying like, well, if you haven't got an album to promote, I can't get gigs. And it's like, well, we do have an album. We've got the Trio album. We're still the Dave Simpson Trio, this, that, and the other. But he was like, no, it's not going to work. Blah, 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 blah. Anyway, we decided we're going to do an album. We picked 10 songs. We started rehearsing them.
It was around then where the name became a problem.
Yes, it was, wasn't it?
Us bouncing off each other.
Nice.
So basically, we were told when booking gigs. I mean, this is something that you might want to know.
Indeed.
We didn't know, obviously, for years because we were the Dave Simpson Trio for nearly 2 decades.
Yeah,
you were.
I was
for like over 10 years. And they said the name's no good because it's hard to sell a band with Trio in the name because it sounds like a 50s jazz band, is what we were told.
Yeah, you just sound like a jazz trio. If you turn up playing rock music, they'll be really confused by your name. I slightly think that's slightly undermining people's intelligence. Going, that band's got the name Trio. They must be jazz. It's like get a life. But hey,
so that's when we started thinking about, okay, these guys obviously know a lot about what they're talking about. They seem successful.
Seems is the word.
They seem to be on it.
Yeah.
It's a pretty big company. They've got a lot of people on their books. This should be epic.
Yeah. Should.
Let's get excited about it.
Oh, and we really were though. That was the thing. It's like when we signed to this company, we were proper excited.
Yeah.
And then 4 months went by and we had no gigs and we had nothing.
Started going a bit downhill, didn't it?
It did. And then he goes, "I've got you one gig." And it was a place that we could have just booked ourselves, and we didn't need him to book it. We could have done it ourselves
on a Tuesday.
What the hell? It's like, that would never have worked. And we were just like, well, no, we don't want to do that. Plus, we had already settled on the idea of we wanted to do more support slots to bigger acts. That was where we wanted to go, which is what we're doing now.
Yeah, it's all worked out.
It has all worked out. That initial plan we had. Yeah, how we got here, I don't know. More about that later. So stay tuned. But yeah, and then it came up on you got to change the name, and then the nightmare of getting 3 people to decide on a band name began.
Horrific.
It was just it was hell. I kept coming up with little ideas. Everyone kept coming up with ideas what about this, what does? And the invariably what would happen is 2 people would like it, and then one person no, I don't like it. So it's like ah. And then one day I was out driving around. And I was listening to Alice in Chains' album, Rainy the Fog, and the 3rd track on that album is called Red Giant. And it got to the pre-chorus, people, and the line is coming up like a red giant, and I was just like, that's actually a really good name. And I remember telling Karina about it, and she really liked it, and I told you about it, didn't I? And you liked it. And it was the first one we all kind of agreed on. It was quite good. And I'm really glad we stuck with it, because that logo by David Cosnetti is incredible. I love it. It's not me, but we got such a cool logo out of the thing, and there is a lot of be that way. There's a lot of imagery you can do with that name. It's really, really cool.
Yeah, it worked out really nice.
It did, yeah. So we had a new name, and then we got the studio booked. We went to Chapel Studios, which, funny enough, we were going to. And then we had some people in the industry who recommended we go to Chapel. They said, you should go to Chapel Studios. They didn't know that I live on its doorstep, but they were like, you should definitely go to Chapel.
Yeah.
And we managed to get in there. We knocked... Who was it who we knocked out? Because they wanted the time, but we got it instead. It was a really big band. Hoosiers.
No, it's not Hoosiers. No. Bastille,
that was it. Yeah, they wanted the studio time what we got, and we got it first. So, in your face, Bastille. Sore losers. No.
We don't even know.
Yeah, we don't know them, but hey.
If we did, you saw losers.
Yeah. But we got in there, and they didn't. We beat them to it, basically. Because it's first come, first serve. We got there first. So. Anyway, really exciting time was that. And then we started rehearsing, didn't we? And then that was really cool. Songs came together really well, actually, really quite quick.
I think the thing with that was the Kickstarter thing, wasn't it? We launched the new name, and then we did a Kickstarter in order to do it, and we all sort of thought, this probably isn't going to work. We'll do it anyway and hope for the best.
Yeah.
Can you remember us filming that? We had to do a 1-minute promo.
That was terrifying.
Yeah, I mean this wouldn't be happening now.
Yeah.
Because another big bit of advice we got was that you shouldn't do videos that are over a minute long. So, Dave doesn't know anything about social media or anything like that.
Yeah.
You've got to keep your videos to under a minute. And we got sent a presentation on that, didn't we?
Oh, God. Terrible.
how to use social media.
Yeah.
Which was really cool.
Yeah, because I've been doing that for the last 11 years.
It was really cool. So that was fun.
Yeah.
Are we opening the door too much, do you reckon?
No, because I reckon people need to understand this. And again, if you are in a band coming up, expect this.
Yeah.
We'll get into more stuff, as you say, but
So the video had to be a minute or under.
Yeah.
So we were like
panicking
and like thinking about who was going to say what, and then we kept laughing because obviously you can't be serious. You can't be serious in that instance. But then we did it, and the Kickstarter just went mental straight away.
Yeah, again, you lot. Thank you.
Yeah, so thank you so much. We couldn't believe it. What was happening?
No, it blew my mind.
Well, I was round my family's, and I'd done it wrong. Can you remember I got the shipping wrong on some of the stuff?
Yeah.
So I got my sister to buy a CD, and the shipping was horrendous.
It was mental.
I was like, oh no. So I was around my mum's house, like meant to be having a meal. I'm just on my phone, like trying to change it all, and I didn't know what I was doing, and it was just absolutely horrific.
Oh, I love it.
But we got it sorted in the end. I had to have like a separate one with the different things, and then it worked out okay in the end. And thanks to all of you, that's what made it so that we could even afford to think about going somewhere like Chapel.
Yeah. It was mental, it really was, and even then we had to get a deal on the studio, and we
were really lucky there.
Yeah, and we could only get 3 days, so it was a case of you better have the songs in order, you better know how to play the songs, and you better be rehearsed up. Otherwise, these 3 days are not going to be enough. And so that basically started kind of like rehearsal. We changed the name. We'd got all you supporting us, and we finally got there, didn't we? And it got to the day of recording. I just remember the entire first day. I don't think I was there mentally.
Yeah.
I don't think I was there. It was so surreal. I had disassociation. I wasn't there. I was like, I don't know what's happening. But it was absolutely going into Chapel Studios.
For you, that's huge, isn't it?
Yeah, it's massive. Yeah, because so many people, so many big bands that I love, have recorded in that studio.
Because we're just like a normal band, like any of you playing now. Imagine you got to record at Abbey Road or somewhere. That's what the equivalent is for us.
Yeah. Well,
especially you in the area, now hearing about it and seeing people that have been there.
Well, the thing is, that is when I was growing up, because it's the local studio and everyone's recorded there. Slipknot did something there. Paul Weller, Arctic Monkeys, The Darkness did their first album there. The list goes on.
Yeah.
It's insane the amount of people. It was always that place where it was imagine what it'd be like to record at Chapel Studios. If you got a chance, it'd be amazing. And every single band I was in growing up around this area, all that was their dream. And I think I'm the only one who's ever achieved it. Because I don't think anyone else ever did. Because no one could afford it. Obviously, because real studios are bloody expensive. There's another thing. Studio time is expensive. So again, bear that in mind if you are wanting to go into a proper studio. And it's recommended. It's expensive but worth it, in my opinion. And I would say
make sure you're well rehearsed so that you use your time effectively. Whenever you see a video of people talking about the studios, they always say that. But it's definitely important. If you go there and you're not ready, sounds aren't dialed in or whatever, and you're messing about, it is a lot of money to be messing about with.
Yeah. And it's the environment itself is quite intense. You need to be able to get the pressure of recording in a proper studio when you've got we had an engineer called Peter. He was amazing.
Yeah.
And all the other things because things are going to go wrong, and that neatly leads into recording on the first day. So we got in. John Joe was setting up his drum kit. I set my amp up in the ISO room. Karina set her amp up in the bedroom, and it was all kind of obviously because the live room was the only thing that was in there was John Joe's drums. We had a vocal mic, but it was just for guide vocal. It was not going to be the main vocal. And we got there at 10, didn't we?
Yeah.
And I think by 1 o'clock we started to 2 o'clock we started to sound check the drums.
Yeah.
Give or take. We haven't played a note yet.
I think what had happened is someone else had been in there other than Peter, and he was really apologetic because he was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry about this," because he was having to rewire loads of stuff
to
get it working, get it all patched up right. Because, the equipment there is just insane, isn't it?
Oh, God, it's mental, yeah.
Yeah, we'll talk about that after. But yeah, he patched it all in, and he was really apologetic, because he was like, oh, this takes so long, I'm sorry. And we were like, don't worry, it's fine. As soon as we start playing, it'll be fine.
Yeah,
I don't think he realised how quick it was going to be, because the last time we'd done the first album when we recorded Ian's, it was all first take or second take, wasn't it?
It was, yeah.
We like it like that.
Yeah.
We're going really well rehearsed, and then we fly through it.
Yeah.
Usually.
Yeah, that I think that way you capture the energy of the song. Because if you're on take 95, the song's lost its meaning at that point. You know, if you're capturing on those first couple of takes, you're capturing even if it's just a foundation, it's an amazing foundation then to build on, which we did do as well. But we were having loads of technical issues, weren't we? Like with stuff, and there's I remember the microphones on your drum kit were like what, $12,000 each.
Yeah. That was more stressful than playing. Me having to hold the stand while he's measuring it to move it to get the microphone.
Yeah, I got that on camera as well.
Oh my god, I was crapping myself.
Yeah. Yeah,
so stressful.
Yeah, Peter just goes, "Oh, don't worry, these mics are only $12,500 each or something like that."
That was the overheads that I used on the drum kit, and that room was just stunning to play drums in. The drums just sounded so good straight away.
It was just because they came in, didn't they? Andy, who owns Chapel Studios, came in and goes, "That's the best sounding drums we've heard in here in ages."
And he was like, "Oh, can you do that to me?" I'm like, "No,
mate." Yeah.
I got my mate Jim to tune them all up for me before, and he's like really anal. He did the top head, bottom head. He's got his little turny thing that he does, and you know he was tuning them to pitch and everything. He had them all like separate notes that were actual notes on the kit. Sounded incredible. I mean, that comes through on the recording.
It does. You can hear it on the recording how good it sounds. But yeah, we got that set up, and then I think it was about 2:00 we started recording, because then we were running the guitar and the bass amps through Valve preamps, really expensive Valve preamps, and I really love the smell of old Valve amplifiers. They have a certain smell, and as soon as Peter had rigged up these Valve preamps, the whole room smelled like the inside of an old Marshall amp. It was gorgeous. It was a really lovely smell. And the really cool thing about Chapel is it's got windows, so it was sunny, wasn't it? It was like, and it wasn't like, you didn't feel encased in like a box like you normally do in a studio. And but once we had a couple of issues with the Valve preamps not coming through, the guitar wasn't coming through. But when it did finally, and we got going, we flew, and we recorded the entire album in, what was it, 3 hours? Yeah, we recorded it all in 3 hours, mostly one takes. Some were to click, some weren't. Can you remember which ones were to click?
Yeah, I think we started off not doing it to click, and then it just made sense to do it. Some of them, obviously, the ones with tempo changes weren't. Like, Was It All My Fault?
Yeah,
is not. The Slow Blues wasn't.
Yeah, that wasn't.
There's a few others that weren't. But we planned out the tempos in rehearsal meticulously, haven't we? We really thought about it.
We knew what we were doing.
Yeah, we'd got the tempos exactly right for each song, what we wanted them to be.
And that's another thing as well. If you're getting into studio, stuff like having the right tempos for clicks if you need them is paramount. You need all that. And also, you don't want to be, like, speaking from a guitarist point of view, you don't want to be spending hours and hours and hours tweaking your bloody pedals if you've got limited time in the studio. You're going to get on everyone's nerves. So have your sounds dialed in, know what you're going to use, know when you're going to use it, and have it dialed in, because you don't want to hold people up, especially if you're on limited time, which a lot of us will be, because a lot of us can't afford weeks and months in a studio like you used to be able to.
Yeah. And drummers, make sure your drums are tuned really nicely.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing worse than getting in and them saying, "Oh, let's check the sounds," and somebody goes, "Me."
Yeah. God. Because I remember when you were sound checking the drum kit, I was in the control room and I was just sat there listening to it, and you were going around the kit, and he said, "Oh, play your whole kit," and it like pinned me against the back wall. I was like, "This is gonna be epic." I was like,
drums in that room just sound so good. I'm really lucky to have recorded that. Like,
yeah, and we got that forever.
Yeah,
we've got that forever, because unfortunately it's up for sale and it might not be there by the time we get round to doing another album, which would be absolutely heartbreaking.
I was going to say, the other thing that we did that was quite interesting, did we do some songs where only I had the click?
Yes.
So that's another thing that we did, is like them two played to me while I was playing to a click.
Friends.
Yeah.
Friends.
Yeah, because I remember seeing the video where I was doing the hi-hat, the hi-hats.
Yeah. Not
in the recording.
You can actually hear, if you listen to that first riff, I'm it's not quite right. I'm locking into you.
Yeah.
And I like that. Again, because most of them were like, I don't think we did more than 2 takes on something there, did we?
No, it was all first, second,
yeah,
third maximum, but I think that was rare if it was 3.
Yeah, because Friends was 1 take, Tell Me was 1 take.
Yeah.
Monsters was 1 take, Why was 1 take. what was it all my fault? Took 2 because we've tried it.
We tried it with a click
and it didn't work.
It didn't work.
Yeah, because it had
the tempos were just slightly, even though we'd rehearsed it, they were just slightly not quite right, and it was better.
Yeah, it needs to speed up and slow down.
Just move slightly more.
Yeah. What are you going to do was one take. That was was just like blasting. You Say I Say, I believe, was 2. It was. You Say I Say was 2 takes, I think. That was the second take. And there was some other ones. Dark Amir was 1 take, I think.
But quite often if it was a second take, it was just one mistake or something.
Yeah.
Like there might have been one note that somebody wasn't happy with, and then just move on.
Did we also like do 2 takes of songs, and then we picked, and it was invariably the first take?
Yeah.
Something like that. But that was the thing, is because we were so well rehearsed and we all knew what we were doing, there was no second guessing it. We could have done that session with our eyes closed. It was just really, really easy. And because like everyone was on headphones, everyone had their ability to have their own mixes, it just made it so easy.
Yeah.
And that room was just so relaxing to play in.
Yeah, it was brilliant.
Like it was with the sun coming through, I could see trees moving outside. It was just absolutely heavenly. And yeah, we literally did it all in 3 hours.
And there were some absolute magical moments.
Oh, there was, yeah.
Because, the other good thing that we did is we gigged them, didn't we?
Mm.
We actually gigged the songs as well.
True.
So that we got a real feel for them, and it worked out really nicely. It was a good idea to do that, wasn't it?
Indeed, yeah. Because that's normally, again, this is something that bands don't normally get the luxury of. Normally, when you write your new songs, you're immediately put into the studio. Whereas I think so many bands say what it should be, you write the songs, you tour them, and then you go into the studio, because on that tour they evolve to become what they are supposed to be.
Yeah.
And we got to play them first, and like you say, we got a better feel for what they were, how they worked.
Because there was some cool little bits that happened that wouldn't have happened anyway.
Yeah.
Like I always love that bit. What song is it? Oh, the one with the tempo changes.
Was it on my fault? Yeah.
That little bit where it stops and you hit the note and I hit the bell of the cymbal. It's just little bits like that are just absolutely gorgeous that you wouldn't get.
No.
Had you not been really well rehearsed and played them as well.
Exactly. Because that most of things like that, like you said, that one note, that is just in the moment.
Yeah.
If we had done another take, that probably wouldn't have happened. It was just so cool, all those little things.
But how long we played together, mate?
Exactly, that's the thing.
Stuff like that's going to happen, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, anyway.
We are, yeah. It's that's telepathy. That's the sort of thing. But it was great. I'd say that first day was like an absolute whirlwind. But it was so fun. It was so fun.
Do you remember I had gout?
Oh, yeah, because you couldn't. That was because it don't want it.
I had a massive gout flare up right before recording. I said to my missus, I was like, well, that was always going to happen, wasn't it? Like the most important recording session I've ever got in my life. Right before it, my left foot just went bash. Here you go, have some excruciating pain for the whole time you're in the studio, mate. And I couldn't hardly walk.
No, you're like hobbling around.
I remember like when I was carrying my gear in, I couldn't walk. And I was like, I shook hands with Peter and I thought, I wonder what he thinks.
Yeah.
He thinks, bloody hell, I've got a drummer here who can't even walk. And I had really big plans for like loads of nice double bass bursts and stuff, like especially the solo with Down and stuff. I'd been rehearsing what I was going to do, couldn't do any of it.
Yeah.
So everything you hear on the album was just one foot.
Yeah.
Just a single pedal because I couldn't do it.
You would never know.
Yeah, until afterwards. Like on the third day we started messing about and playing, it was starting to come back. It was better, but...
Yeah, it was always the second day though,
yeah. What's the chance of having a massive gout flare up before that, mate?
Well, it's just sod's law, isn't it? It's like, there was so many... There was quite a few things that go wrong, but again, that's going to happen. You have to expect things are going to go wrong. It's like a gig, you know. But again, we were... Because we were so prepared for anything, and we, you know, seasoned pros.
Old school.
Nothing really phased us, which was really, again, another good thing.
Yeah.
None of us got phased. Even Peter, even though he was kind of like, you know, certain things were working against him, he had it in hand. He knew what he was doing.
Yeah.
And we got it done. And I remember just saying to him, like, you know, oh yeah, it got to like 6 o'clock, and we're like, yeah, we'll call it a day. And he was like, bands normally work into like the morning hours to get stuff done. And I was like, yeah, we'll get it done. We know what we're doing. We got the base, the foundations done now of the song. We got the basis done. So we'll come in tomorrow. We'll do overdubs, and then day after that we'll do vocals. He was like, okay. So nothing like confidence. But we knew we could do it.
Yeah.
That was the thing. It might sound a bit eagery to some people, but the fact is we knew we could do it. Easy. Like, we knew we could do it and we had it. And I don't think any of us felt like, oh, we're not going to get this done, or freaked out. Because I remember coming back here after that first night, because you went back home, didn't you? And
that was another thing. Diane's mum wasn't very well, was she? So I had to go back and make sure Diane was okay.
Oh, it was all going on.
Yeah,
it was all going on, yeah. And I came back here and I was just like, I was able to come back here and relax as much as I can relax, because I'm not a relaxed person. But like, you know, I only kind of like had about 8 flip outs, which is good for me now, right? But no, I was able to come back here and relax, and then we went next day at 10 o'clock and Peter had done some work, hadn't he, to the mixes.
Yeah.
And we just sat there and was just like it was jaw dropping. It was like, that's us.
Yeah.
It was one of those pinch me moments where you're like, are you sure? You can't sound that good, you know, but it sounded immense. He goes, I've just done a bit of work to it. And it was like,
through them speakers as well.
Oh, God.
Oh, my God.
It blew my mind. And
yeah.
That day basically went down to kind of like overdubs, didn't it? And percussion was the kind of thing, because I really wanted to redo the guitars on Friends. I wiped my initial guitar because it wasn't as tight as I wanted it to be, so I redid it again, and also I wanted to double it with the harmony solo. And I think there's 4 guitars on Friends that I ended up doing. I got a bit carried away. And then I double tracked all the songs and added overdubs, and then Karina did bass overdubs. Then you did percussion, didn't you, for stuff like Y, like shakers and stuff.
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
And then there was acoustic guitar as well. Playing my acoustic guitar in that hall.
Oh.
And the acoustic was recorded using a mic from the 1940s. It was a ribbon mic from the 40s. And literally it was about that big.
Yeah.
And I was playing my acoustic on it, and I went back into the control room and he showed me how it sounded, and I was like, I know that guitar sounds good, but that sounds immense. And God, it was just heaven. Oh, no, was piano done on the last day?
Last day, yeah.
Yeah, the piano.
Yeah, because we had other people there, didn't we?
Oh yeah, my sister came, didn't she? With my mum came.
Yeah.
Oh, because our friend Ian as well, who's been like extraordinarily helpful.
Yeah.
To us over the years. Like he came as well, and Ian's like, you know, been there, done that. You know, that's the man with the experience who we go to. And he came down to see what we were doing, and he was really happy with it and stuff like that, making sure, like, you know, we were on track and stuff. And but yeah, second day went by again. I think we finished again at about 6.
Yeah. And
then came back here, didn't we? And all got Pizza Paradise takeaway.
I loved how many ideas you had for it. Like the way your mind works.
Yeah. It's
just incredible. You knew every single sound you wanted. Like stuff I wouldn't have even thought of hearing.
Yeah.
And then that's what the overdubs were. It was basically just all your crazy ideas coming out.
Well, I remember one point as well, I got Karina to indulge my mad sound fantasies, because in the bass solo on Tell Me, I could hear these noises that weren't there. And I was like, I can't do that on a guitar, it's a bass sound. And I got her to dial, well, I got her to dial it in, or I dialed it in, I don't remember, but it was this sound called particle verb. And it's kind of like this kind of like weird ambient reverb. And I said, she was like, what do you want me to do? I said, literally just mute your strings and hit the strings. Just hit the bass. You don't play a note, just hit it. And let this noise flower out. And you can hear it if you go back to Tell Me. It's kind of buried, but it is in there. And it just added all this weird ambience. And it was just all these little things. And the whammy effect in Don't.
Yeah.
That was something I was like, I've got to have that. Like, wee. And
some of the stuff where you're doing it, I was like, oh, this is stupid. Like the violin bow, I thought, oh, here we go. He's got his bow out. He's got to, hasn't he? He's brilliant. He's got his bow out. Then I heard it, I was like, bloody hell.
Yeah, because
that's insane.
That's the intro to Was It All My Fault, wasn't it? Yeah. Yeah, because there was loads of like little things of like.
Did you write it all down beforehand, or was that all just in your head?
It was all just on the day. Most of it was on the day. Just like
that's crazy.
Yeah, the only thing I had planned was the 2 guitar parts for Friends. I had written some of the solos, but I'd recorded them anyway. But as far as certain sounds went and overdubs, I had no idea what it was. the idea was, and again, something to talk about. You listen to what the song wants of you, because technically I didn't come up with these parts. I'm responsible for playing them, but I didn't come up with them. They were kind of beamed into my head, and something told me this needs to happen there, that needs to happen there, that needs to be there, that needs to be there, and so I can't take responsibility for it. But that's how most things come to you. You'll hear sounds. Because can you remember Karina heard a backing vocal for Friends?
Yeah.
But it wasn't there, but she heard it in the chords.
Yeah.
And then we sent her out there to do it. We're like, well, you heard it, you do it. But that worked really well. But it was like, the songs will tell you what they want, and they'll also tell you what you don't want. They'll tell you when you're being an egotistical git. They'll tell you when you're overplaying. They'll tell you when you're doing too much and you need to ease it back. They'll tell you when you're not doing enough and you need to push it. And basically that second day, it was all those ideas. I'm still gutted though, we never used the gong on Friends.
I know, we should have done.
Yeah, right at the beginning.
Yeah,
it'd have been brilliant.
Great.
But next time, we'll use the gong next time.
But that's what the rehearsals did as well. I can remember, like, the early rehearsals, like, some of the stuff I was playing was horrifically busy.
Yeah.
It was way too busy. And then as you start to get more of a grasp for the song, it's less about yourself and more about the song.
Exactly, yeah.
Because it's hard in the 3-piece because there's so much room for you to put stuff in.
Yeah.
And
you do have to fill the gaps, but
you've got to
be
do it
careful.
sensibly.
Yeah, you got to be careful how much you fill it.
Yeah.
But no, it was great. The second day was awful.
Oh,
beeping.
Oh.
I'd slipped into me. I forgot the camera was there.
Did you?
Yeah. That's great. That's kind of what I wanted to happen though, because
like
when the camera's there, sometimes you kind of like clam up and don't speak, and it
the
becomes
cool thing about this is what me and Dave do normally. We're not normally on these chairs. We're normally
on there.
This is what we do. We just sit here talking all day.
Yeah, waffling about
everything.
Time's gone by.
Oh, back in our day.
Yeah, it was easier. Wasn't it? But we got it all done, didn't we? And then the third day we went and did backing vocals, and I played piano on Y. Which was utterly terrifying because you were there watching me do it.
I was stood right next to him the whole time.
I was like, are you going to go? Like, no. I was like, ah! Like plonking around on this extraordinarily gorgeous piano trying to get it right. God, I think I got it in one take though.
Yeah.
Or was it two? I don't remember. But I got it fairly quickish. Probably 2 takes, I don't know.
Some of his ideas with the mic placements and stuff were just genius, weren't they?
Yeah.
Like he put a microphone inside the piano.
And shut the piano.
And we were like, okay. And then when he showed us the noise it was actually making, it was crazy, wasn't it?
It's in there mixed in. It's in the background.
Like really low, but there. It's so cool.
Yeah, it's
But that's
still
somebody
there.
who knows the room and knows everything.
Yeah. And the thing was as well, the thing I loved about working with Peter is he liked to work fast like me.
Yeah.
And us in general. Because especially when I was doing guitar overdubs, again, I knew when the song was done because it would tell me. And he was like, right, any more? And I was like, right, next one. He's like, what do you want to do this one? And he'd pull it up and it'd be there. And I'm like, let's do this. And he would never go, are you sure you want to do that? It was just like, yeah, let's do it. And then he would find a way to mix it. There was one bit that I'll always remember. I'll take it as a compliment. The Dark of Me guitar solo, the bends are slightly out of tune.
Yeah.
Because I wanted them to be like a couple of cents out. Just so they just grab you a bit more. Yeah. If they're in tune, it sounds good, but it sounds wrong. So it needs to be slightly flat. And I was bending them slightly out of tune, and Peter said, "Do you really want the bends to be that flat?" And I was like, "Yeah." He goes, "Okay." And I was like, "Yes." This was like, that's really cool.
Yeah. His ears are just insane, aren't they?
Oh yeah, absolutely shocking. And but that was great. And then. Then we were told by a booking agent we were doing it all wrong. Being in a really expensive studio, recording an album music that sounded that good, and doing all this and trying to get promotion, and obviously having the Kickstarter with the support and stuff, and then like having this guy harping on at us, telling us how wrong we're doing it. I'm like, this is what you told us to do. But little did we know that was the start of the issues. We thought like this. Like we didn't realise
there were issues before that.
There was issues before that. That's a fair point. Yeah. We had a lot of issues before that. But no, that was when it really was like, this guy's out of his mind. He's out of his mind. Like, constantly having to go at us.
It's just not the right fit for us.
No, indeed.
I'm sure he's doing great now.
Yeah. Anyway. Not bitter. Anyway, but yeah, anyway, we got the album done, didn't we? And then we gave it to Peter. Peter was going to take it away and mix it. And I always remember, like, hearing the first mixes back. And again, it was just another one of those jaw on the floor moments of like, what?
Yeah.
That's us? I think the first song I heard was Free Me. And it was just like, oh my lord. Bearing in mind, like, Free Me is a little song that I wrote in this room in 2020 in lockdown. I wrote it, literally, I wrote it here, stood here, because there's a video. And then recorded it that day as a little demo. And what it came out to be, when you put your bit on it, and then Karina put her bit on it, and what it came out, and then it sounded like that. It was just like, holy flirking schnit. It was mental.
I can remember you sending me that idea, and I sent you back a video of me playing the little polyrhythm on the drums.
Yeah.
I was like, I can hear it.
Yeah.
I was so excited. I just recorded myself in the thing, and I did it, and just sent it to you two in the group chat.
Yeah.
I was like, listen to this. I was so excited.
Yeah, I remember. It was so cool. And that bit is so weird.
Yeah, it's great.
It's so weird. It's one of my favourite parts of that song. Like, the way the bass plays with your drum kit, with your drum beat is so cool. That song to me is just kind of... That was the first song we had, wasn't it, for the second album as well, Free Me.
And that one had actually had more input from all of us as a band than the rest, because we'd had that longer. We'd gigged it a few times.
Yeah.
Because we even played that at the River End in the October.
We did.
We butchered it.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about that.
Absolutely.
That was terrible. No, there's no footage. Don't bother looking.
There is footage, but
we're not.
There's no way we can release that.
Yeah. Way. If you give us 20 grand,
if any of you were there, I hope you enjoyed that.
Yeah. Please forgive us.
Brutal.
It was brutal. Every song that night went perfectly. That song fell right on its face and broke its teeth.
Yeah.
God.
That's so funny.
That wasn't long. That was like October the year before. God almighty. Love it. But yeah, I remember hearing those mixes back and just been like, I just remember like going, I want this out now.
He'd send us like a couple, wouldn't it? And then he'd work on more, and then send us a couple more. And every time I heard it, I can remember like driving around with Diane, just going on days out or whatever. I'd go, oh, I've got another one, and I'd have to pull over, and then I'd put it on in the car. I'd be like, oh my god, this just sounds so good.
Yeah.
Like, I couldn't believe what we'd created.
I still can't, to be honest with you. It's still beyond. Like,
I ain't listened to it in a bit. I'm going to wait and listen to it again.
Yeah, I can't listen to it anymore.
Oh,
I'm cursed with it.
That's good.
Yeah, I know. I can't listen to that album anymore for reasons. But yeah, it's got too many ghosts to it.
I want to listen to it soon.
Ace. Not jealous. Because even playing some of the songs is hard.
Yeah.
Like, was it all my fault and stuff like that? It's like, it's like, and I always say it's like to people, it's like, when I wrote these songs for this album, I didn't have to expect to live them, but here we are. Especially You Say, I Say. But that's such a fitting end to the album as well. You Say, I Say. That was such a good song to end the album on. It's just that big, heavy. I remember we were joking about it. It's like Korn.
Yeah.
Like it sounded like Korn.
So it's like a new metal song.
Yeah. That kind of thing. You can just hear it in there. It was so good. But yeah, I remember getting those mixed in. Just been like, this is absolutely insane. And then we got the album artwork. We actually got other album artwork, which we didn't actually end up using. We used the Dave Cosnetti logo instead, because it just popped more. Although I still love the artwork we got, we just think the Sun Man works way better. And I just remember like when was it? It was like June time when it was all done. I remember, and then June the world fell apart. Like literally June the world fell to pieces, and I thought, we're over. The album's never going to come out. It's over. It's literally over. And because the first thing that happened was booking agent. What did he say? It was something really stupid and formal, like, bearing in mind he'd got us no gigs. We had been under contract for nearly an entire year.
No, that's not true.
Isn't it?
Well, it is true.
It is true. But, oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, this would be good.
So, we actually got 2 gigs.
Yeah.
Newbury Beer Festival and the one that we just literally had.
Blackpool.
In February.
Yeah. Yeah, Blackpool Rhythm and Rock Festival. Yeah, considering we technically already had the Newbury Festival because I booked it. He didn't book it, I did. Which was interesting, to say the least. The Blackpool one he did book, but it was through another agent who was really confused of why that was a thing. But anyway, but I remember like he was like, we had this massive we had this kind of like Zoom meeting, which was good for us, which for reasons I'm not going to go fully into. But we had this Zoom meeting where basically it was the end. Like that was the end of it with him. Like we were done with him. He was done with us. He wasn't doing anything for us. Absolutely nothing. And just kept telling us how wrong we were and how stupid we are and how naive we are and idiots and really undermining us and basically bullying us. And I'm not one for being bullied. I had enough of that in my life. Not having it again. So anyway, we parted ways in June with that company and him. And then kind of like, things happened after that. But what blew me away as a side was how expensive all this has been. I mean, I knew it was going to be expensive, and here's another thing for up and coming bands and people getting into this thing. Money is, I hate to say it.
It's everything.
It's everything. I hate it. It makes me feel dirty.
How naive we were.
Yeah. Because I think at this point in time, no word of a lie, I think we're about £17,000 to £18,000 in. The Kickstarter got us 8 and a bit, wasn't it? And the Kickstarter was gone in like 2 weeks on PR, records, CDs, t-shirts, magazine adverts, stuff like that. It was gone. It went rapidly. The studio costs, all that kind of thing. It went rapidly, and then we were into our own money, spending our own money. So when you think about it, like we got $8,000, 8.5 from the Kickstarter. I think it got to 9, but they took it away. It
was near 10, wasn't it?
Was it near 10? Then they 10, took their they took their thing away. It was about 8.5 on it, nearly 9, and then that went. So basically, think about it, like we're at 17. We've spent about eight of our own money on the band as well, and that keeps ticking up as well because we've got fuel costs, accommodation. New merch as well because we've sold all the CDs. We need new CDs. They're about.
We were just having a discussion, weren't we? Like before we started filming, because obviously we're not together all the time. We talk on the phone all the time, but like band business stuff, we have to talk about it now because that's what it is, isn't it?
It is business
crazy
now, yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
We were just talking about how much it's going to cost us to order a new batch of CDs and a new batch of T-shirts for the tour. What sizes we need and everything like that you need to organise. In time. And the costs of that are just astronomical. I mean, luckily, hopefully people buy it and you make some of it back. Yeah. But up to now, we've nearly spent everything. Haven't we?
We've nearly spent everything. Yeah, we've got just enough to get what we need for the tour.
Yeah.
But the thing is, the music industry is so void of money in the level we're at now. Because the thing is, we're not signed to a label, we're independent, so we've got nobody behind us but us. We don't have anybody feeding money in like a label used to do with bands. It's on us. So, we have to be quite frugal with what we can buy and what we can't buy. Because and what we can do and what we can't do because it all comes down to money. And we're not rich people to start with, so... But it is the amount it costs, even like magazine adverts, and like stuff like and PR, and again, this is the thing, good PR is worth every penny, and you need PR. You need somebody to be doing that for you who knows the business better than you do, because unless you are a business guru in the music industry, PR is an absolute nightmare, and I'm so glad we got the guy we've got because he's a genius.
Their advice is invaluable for a band like us. This is the first time, I mean, we've been doing this, not this band's new, but we've been playing in a band together for so long, and we're just really getting a peek behind the curtain now. And like the bands that we're playing with and stuff, we get to talk to them, and get advice from them as well. And it's a mad time for music, isn't it?
It is, especially independent music. I mean, I thought we were going to sell like 10 CDs.
Yeah.
I thought like we'll maybe sell 10, and then when I'm 90 years old and nearly dead, I'll be on my deathbed, which will just be Red Giant CDs.
That's how old? 90.
Well, I'll never live that long.
You'll be lucky.
I will. I'll be lucky to live next week at the rate. And there's another thing. Have a high stress point because you're gonna need it. Like literally, the stress we've been under and stuff we've had to overcome and get through, like the hurdles we've had to get over. That's another video all in itself. It really is. That is another video all in itself. I could talk for hours. Well, we could easily talk for hours about that. About like what we've had to do and this, that, and the other.
And where we are now as well is incredible. Yeah. We'll laugh about it. There was one point where we lost our booking agent. Obviously, we lost our bass player, friend, and more than friend. And then on the calendar, we had 3 gigs. We had the Flying Circus twice.
Yeah.
And what was the other one? Was it
Newbury Real Ale Festival?
Newbury Real Ale Festival, and that was it.
Yeah, we had nothing.
We were like, well, this is it then.
Yeah,
And then we were like, well, we know we've got a great album. What do we do?
Yeah.
I mean, there was thoughts of even just sacking it all off, weren't there? And we were like, but we can't. We've got to do it. The album's too good. There's too much pressure, good pressure, because of the Kickstarters. Thankfully, for you lot helping us out the way you did, we felt like we couldn't let you down, and then we've carried on. We're here now.
Yeah, and it has been worth it.
Yeah.
Like, even though it's been one of the worst times of my life, like not like the album, like literally personal life and stuff like that has been horrific. But then to have to go through that and then promote this album, to be honest with you, that's been a godsend because it kept me busy.
If you hadn't have had that, I'd try to think what would have happened.
I know. I mean, I was hesitant to say I don't think I'd even be here.
No.
But it really was like my lifeline. But I needed it. I needed something to keep me occupied and keep me busy. And God, did it keep us busy. Jeez. There's another thing as well. Independent bands, be ready. You're going to be busy. You can't just kind of go, I'll do it in a bit. No, you'll do it now. We got
We've
that
just got that coming up now as well, haven't we? Like, the fact that we're here today, having to do a photo shoot and stuff.
Yeah, it's all going again.
It's all going on again. It's all kicking off again.
Yeah.
We've got things to be recording. We've got a whole list of things that need to be done again. There's a lot that goes into it.
Oh, there is. There's tons. I mean, I always knew there was, but the level. And again, this is the thing, like I say, because we're not signed, and a lot of bands these days aren't signed, and if they are, it might be to an independent label that maybe doesn't have a lot of clout or this, not, and the other. Personally, I think more bands need to be independent and have autonomy. But because we're not signed, it's all on us. So there's no plan B. There's no kind of like if that doesn't do well, it doesn't matter. It has to do well. It's like the tour in May has to do well, because it's as simple as if it doesn't do well, and it is that. And the music industry has always been that brutal. Back in the day, you used to get 3-album deals though, so you'd get like one album. If that didn't work, try the second one. If that didn't work, if the third one didn't work, bye bye. Whereas now it's basically if it doesn't work straight away, bye bye. So when we harp on about, please come and see us, please buy CDs, merch and stuff like that, please come and see us on the tour, we're not doing that because of vanity of this and the other, or whatever it is. I don't know what the word would be on that one. We're doing it because we actually genuinely need you. Without you, we can't be. And it is as simple as that. Without fans and people coming to see you, you haven't got anything. And that's another thing. Again, it's another video all in itself as well.
But it's true though, isn't it? I mean, genuinely, if the tour in May doesn't do very well, then that's it.
That's it. Game over.
That's it. What we're going to do now, we'll be back to trying to book our own gigs. And then it's a nightmare. Whereas if it does go well,
sky's the limit.
Who knows, Pinky, this time next year.
Indeed. But it really could be that. I mean, that's the thing. And then again, like I said, I do hate badgering people into doing things, but this is our only shot at this. And again,
we shouldn't even be this far, should we?
We shouldn't be this far. No, we're two working class lads. Like, what the hell are we doing on this level? Because we are surrounded by people who are backed by companies. Yeah. We're not. We are an anomaly in this world. The fact that we've sold 500 copies of our first album is insane.
It's more than 500 with the records.
Oh, it is
500 CDs.
Well, it's if we factor in records, it's about 700.
Yeah.
Because we've sold over about 250 records gone.
And that's with us being on Spotify.
Yeah.
Which is rubbish. But
Spotify notify.
I mean, that's another thing. Like we're starting to learn now is like venues and stuff. They look at your Spotify numbers.
Yeah.
That's how you get booked these days.
It is, yeah.
What is that?
It's not your website.
Even if you bought the CD and the record, please keep streaming us. Even though we make no money and it's absolutely pointless and crap and we both hate it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that's what people look for when they're booking you for a gig, is how many people listen to you on Spotify.
I just love it when we had to put our album on Spotify. I had a right crisis.
Oh, you had a meltdown. I had to talk you into it.
I had a proper crisis about it going on the Spotify. And to this day, I still don't have Spotify as an app. John Joe had to do it all.
I had to sort all Spotify.
I was like, I can't touch it. I feel like I'm going to die.
And I like send him like some of the, like when we first came out with the singles and stuff. I mean, like, the numbers of you listening has just been incredible, so thank you so much. But I've been like screenshotting and sending it to Dave because I know he doesn't look at it and he doesn't use it, so he doesn't know what's going on.
I'll message you back. Is that good?
Yeah, I was trying to message people. Like, I'm trying to talk you into like listening to us on Spotify, but Dave's not going to.
No,
brilliant.
Well, in all honesty, when it comes down to it, where we need your support more than anything is at the live gigs.
Yeah,
we need the head count at venues. We need you to come and see us at the gigs on the tour in May. You know, we can't do this without you. It's not your fault if it fails, but we can't do it without you at the same time. You know what I mean? I don't want to put pressure on people. I hate the idea of that. But it is one of those things, if we want to do another album, we want to keep this going, and no one turns up, it is bye-bye Red Giant. And it's been nice, but it's over now. Yeah. And it is that. And it is as simple as that. And it pains me to say it because I feel like I'm being a right twat. Yeah. And I'm just going to say it. I feel like I'm being a twat. It's like...
You feel so bad, like, pestering people, don't you?
You do.
Like, I've been telling people, like, even people I know, I'm like, oh, you live near Derby, come to the Flower Pot. I feel like I'm such an idiot.
Yeah.
But it's so important. And it's not even our tour.
No.
Which is the craziest thing. We're just the support band.
Yeah.
But we know that if everything goes well with us as a support band in this instance, everyone who we work with will be happy with us.
Yeah.
And then we'll get better things from it in the future, and that'll help build us up.
Yeah. Because we've got... Us two have got multiple people to impress with this band. There's you lot out there with what we put out musically and video-wise and content-wise, keeping you lot happy and keeping you supporters. But we also have to think about the people in the business, like promoters, venues, people like prospective labels or something like that. We've got to make these people go, they're worth it. Because at this point in time, where we are, it really is a make and break. It's like, if we're seen as worth it, we can keep doing this. If we're not, good night, Red Giant. And it is simple as that. And I'm not quite ready for that yet.
No.
Like, I feel like we're just getting started, and
yeah, I think so. And the experiences we've had so far have been so good.
Oh, it's been amazing.
So much fun.
You've seen in the gig vlogs as well.
The stuff we've done up to now has been mind-bogglingly good. Like, way further than I thought we would ever do.
We played the 100 Club.
And we did an Anderson session.
And we did an Anderson session. We did a Crimson guitar session.
Yeah.
We played all the way down in Cornwall at a festival, and we played like Blackpool, and we played all these other things.
We're going to Scotland in March.
We're going to Scotland in March. Let's look forward to that one.
Yeah.
And then we're playing 100 Club again in May, and we've got a tour in May.
And the size of the tour is massive.
21 days.
I was saying to
5 days
Diane,
off.
like, that the size of that tour is just...
It's monstrous.
Unheard of. It's crazy. Unless you're like a big band. Obviously, you're doing a world tour. It's different, but...
Indeed, yeah.
Just a tour of the UK, that's massive.
But this is why it's so important that we do try and get you lot to come out and see us. Because it is such a big tour. Like I say, I don't think we'd ever do a tour that big again. I do feel it's a test.
Yeah, that's what it feels like.
It feels like the promoters and the people we're working for, who are, you know, the ones who get final say on us, it feels like they're putting us to the test to see if we can actually do it or not, and see if there's anything there at all. Which again is just business. When you think about it, at the end of the day, you're not going to put your money in something that's not going to recoup it. So that's what it comes down to. Again, money. It makes you feel gross, but it is everything. Yeah. You need money. You need lots of it. And again, I remember watching a Rick Beato video the other day, and I stand by this, and we know this to be a fact. Rick Beato said, any big bands you see touring, big bands, stadium acts, or this, that, and the other, he says you can guarantee they're all rich. They've all got immense disposable income, because there's no way you can do that and not be rich. And he's right.
Yeah.
He's right. We can confirm that, because my bank account can confirm this, and the band bank account can confirm this, and John Joe's bank account can confirm this, and my dad's bank account, who's had to help out, can confirm this, that things are bloody expensive, and it takes a lot. It really does. But it's worth it.
It's worth it.
It's worth it. Even through all the stress and going, literally, I've got less hair now than I did in June, and I can't really afford to lose much more. Even through all that, it's been amazing. And again, what we know and the knowledge we've gained
is priceless, isn't it?
Yeah.
Absolutely priceless.
Yeah.
But yeah, we know what's happening now.
We do. And again, that's why we're fighting for it. And we're terrified it could go away. That's why we are pressuring, trying to, not pressuring, it's the wrong word. Like, trying to get people, come on, get to the gig or we'll come and find you.
No. Mate, I'll come to your house.
Yeah. We don't know where you live.
I do. I've been stuck in your Facebook for months.
Anyway. but no, it really is one of those things of like, we want to make this work, but we can't do it without you. And it is as simple as that. We need you to help us. So if we are playing nearby to you, please come and see us, come and say hello to us, and just come and enjoy the music, and we will always do the best gig we can for you. We're not those musicians who just kind of go, I'm just going to phone it in. Yeah, and also every gig we do is different, because we like to improvise and do that kind of thing. But it really is important that we have your support. Like, without you, like I said, we've got nothing. It's as simple as that. We could be the best band in the world. Not saying we are. We could be the best band in the world. We could be the next Oasis. But without fans and people coming to see you and buying tickets to gigs, nothing.
Yeah, nothing.
Yeah, and Noel Gallagher said that about Oasis. He said it's nothing that he did. It's nothing that Oasis did that made them big. He said it was the fans. I totally agree. Without fans, you're nothing. Without backing, you're nothing. And we will push this to the moon.
Yeah.
If we can, and we'll take you all along with us as well. Happily. Anyway. So I think that's going to draw an end to this vid of Red Giant Talks. I don't know what we're going to call this video.
Yeah, it started off with the studio stuff, and then we've just gone off, haven't we?
Well, I think that's good though. It kind of like covers quite a lot of ground.
We could have got 2 separate videos out of it there, couldn't we?
Oh, there's plenty more we can do videos on. We could talk for another 8 hours about what we've been through and what we've had to do and stuff like that and the other. And it is chaos. It's crazy, but it's been worth every second. Yeah. It really is. And to come out and to go out to gigs and meet you lot, when
so cool.
I love it. It is just like, it's like, like we did a gig at Dingwalls.
Yeah.
And one of the bands, this guy was on the band before us, and he came back. He goes, you're a Red Giant. That song, Why? Oh, I love that song. And it's like, this is brilliant. The music's out there. It's actually doing things and helping people and making people happy. And I'm like, that's all that matters. But anyway, thank you Steve for watching. Hope you enjoyed this waffle vid with me and Mr. John Joe Gaskin here.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for watching all the videos as well.
Indeed, yeah. Thank you very much indeed. And again,
4,000 subscribers.
Yeah, we're at 4,000. We're probably over that by now when this video comes out. But that's mental as well, all that. Thank you very much. If you're not subscribed, please do.
Yeah.
Other than that, thank you indeed. Links to everything in the description box below. Other than that, we'll see you again next video. Don't know what that's going to be yet, but we'll figure it out when we get there.
Yeah, we'll do something else.
See you later.
Cheers.
Bye.